Well, hello and welcome to Nerds with Dice. Um, the powers that be would like me to let you know that we do have merch. Woohoo! You can find those links over in chat or by going to Nerds W Dice over on Twitter. My name is Steve. I'm going to be running these lovely people through one of my favorite TTRPGs, 10 Candles. First, though, a word to our viewers. 10 Candles is a game of tragic horror. This is not a story about defeating monsters. They won't. It's not a story of surviving against the odds. They won't. This is sort of a story of hope and loss and searching for meaning in the final hours of these characters' lives. As you might imagine, that can get somewhat intense sometimes. The cast and I have safety tools in place, lines and veils, X card, to make sure we're all comfortable telling the story. We want to make sure that you're comfortable watching the story as well. So if you need to step away at any point, please do. You'll find VODs of plenty of our other recent games on our Twitch and on YouTube, and we'll be here for you when you're ready. So that said, we're going to go ahead and introduce our cast, and we'll start. We'll start with Mary and work our way around the table.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mary. My pronouns are she, her. Today I'm going to be playing Rosalind. Her name is, or her pronouns are she, her as well. She is just a nature activist, wheelchair user, and is so excited for this girls' weekend until the sun went out.
And Nadia.
Hello, everyone. My name is Julia. I use any pronouns. It's impossible to get it wrong. And tonight I'll be playing Nadia Nelkin, who uses she, her pronouns. Nadia is an art major who has no idea what she's going to be doing with her life and is just kind of riding it out.
And Alice.
Hi guys, my name is Alice. I use they them pronouns. Today I am playing Audrey, who's a she her pronouns. Audrey is a biologist major and has been dragged on this trip, like most places, by her girlfriend Alice. I'm sorry, Annie. I am tired, guys.
And that brings us around to Caden.
Yeah, hi, I'm Caden. They, them. I'm playing Milda, she, her pronouns. And she's a foreign exchange student. That's
Fantastic.
all I know.
Fantastic. So I think introductions made. I'm Steve Anderson. I'm an actor storyteller. You can find me on the socials at Tall Halfling, sometimes Tall Halfling RPG. So with that, I think the time has come. Time to turn down the lights, lean in nice and close to the fire, tell a lovely story for 2 days before Halloween. These are players are 4 of a group of 6 college students, seniors about to graduate, uh, heading off for an outing, for an adventure, for spring break. I thought that's a surprise to our players. We were earlier talking about a little bit later in the process, but there are reasons. Who came up with the idea of going out to this cabin in the first place?
I think that would be me. Look, it's been crazy as we are getting closer to graduation day, and we've kind of grown a little bit apart. And this kind of a last hurrah of sorts is kind of Rosalind's way of being like, we can all still be friends and be fine, guys. Let's just hang out, have a good time.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so they hiked up a lovely path through the woods, up the first slope of a mountain, and reached the cabin. Reached the cabin just in time for a glorious, beautiful sunset, having no idea it would be the last sunset any of them would see. Because you see, that was 11 days ago. 10 days ago, the world went dark. The sun didn't come up. The moon didn't come up. Even the stars aren't quite out, though there's a little bit of a glow, not enough to see by, just enough to make all those trees outside a little bit of a spooky silhouette against the black. So how have you been spending these 10, now 11 days out here?
Well,
I mean,
I've been studying, I've been reading my books and doing my homework and writing my papers and doing everything I'm supposed to do.
Of course, of course. I didn't mean to imply anything else. Of course, spring break is about getting the homework done. Of course it is.
Exactly, yes.
Nadia has already gone through all of the edibles that she brought for the trip. So she's just kind of staring out the window, not really knowing what to do.
Is she sharing, or are those a personal stash?
They were originally brought to share, and then stuff went crazy. So
Okay, all right, fair enough. Rosalind, I know this is not the outing that you had planned to share with your classmates, but you making the best of a bad situation, or grappling with the situation that's here?
Rosalind, she's trying to make the situation okay. I mean, sure, the sun is out. Okay, maybe this is just a super long eclipse and everything will be fine. So I think she's been trying to like basically keep up the itinerary except for like less of the nature like walks that she planned and more of like trying to play through every single board game that they found in the cabin, and we've probably gone through those multiple times at this point. uh yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And so I guess that leaves Audrey and our the two we haven't met yet, but
Which probably about ties in, considering Audrey has been pacing around the cabin at every external window there is. Just God hoping for any sign.
makes sense. And I'm sure uh, I'm sure Annabelle is worried about you, but giving you some space to deal with this darkened world. Now, the sixth of our campers we have not even mentioned yet. That would be Bobby. Only her parents get to call her Barbara. She's an engineering major. So 5 days ago, when she found a busted old emergency radio here in the cabin, the kind with a hand crank instead of having to worry about whether the batteries are dead, she took a few hours, took it apart, figured out what the problem was, put it back together again, and got it working. Huzzah! And you all gathered round as went slowly across the dial. I realize I am dating myself here, but yes, there was a time when there was a physical dial.
Mhm.
Back and forth, hissing, crackling, static, and then a fragment of a voice, maybe? Go back a little. It was only for a moment, and it was faint, but it seemed to be saying something to the effect of, they took him. They took him. They're dangerous, but they won't come into the light. You're safe in the light. Don't go into the dark. And that was it. Since then, it's been just static. Now, bringing us up to the present, about an hour ago, maybe an hour and a half, Annabelle and Barbara, I am so sorry. Annabelle and Bobby, I am not her parent. Annabelle and Bobby headed out to see if they could find some supplies, firewood, help, something, anything, something to give them something to do, something to help. And it's been an hour and a half. Haven't been back yet. And by the way, having been here for 11 days now, you are college seniors. You are about to graduate. It all depends on finishing the coursework. Classes were supposed to start back up yesterday. You have no idea if this is a local phenomenon or something that would affect school as well. So I'm sure that's weighing on your minds as well.
Have our phones been working at all?
They work. There isn't really much of a signal out here on the mountain, and since you've been here, you don't know whether there's a signal back in town. Let me give you the lay of the land. You are partway up the slope of mountain covered with trees. You know that there's a ranger station at the top. In daylight would have been maybe a half-hour hike to go up and find the ranger station. Undoubtedly would take a bit longer than that in the dark, and who knows if it would be easier to find in the dark. You know, it was an hour hike up the hill, up to the cabin, so it should be probably a couple hours. If you want to go the opposite direction and go down toward the town, it is a longer trip, but it has the advantage that a whole town is hard to miss. But in the meantime, you're waiting for your friends, starting to go a little stir crazy. Bam, 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 bam. Somebody's pounding on the door of the cabin. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam, bam.
Milda jumps up and hides behind the couch.
Okay. I'm gonna get. I'm assuming we have the. If there's a curtain over the window, I'll just like peek and see if I can see who's outside.
So you get your first bit of good news. Bobby's out there, both arms full of firewood. You watch as she kicks the door one more time.
Oh my God! Hey, and I'll open it. Hey, you good?
And she comes in, gets a little bit of help putting it down. You've managed to stretch, 6 or 7 days worth of food to 10 or 11 without a problem. Stretching firewood has been more of a problem because, well, you would have been planning to have, a few hours when you were up and it wasn't light out, not 24 hours a day for 11 days. So you've been having to scavenge. So Bobby comes in and is delighted to present the haul that she's gotten. Looks over her shoulder. Did I call her Audrey? I am so sorry. Too many A names. Annabelle with the no. Give me just a second here. Jumble brain. Annabelle arrives with wood piled high. Looks over her shoulder. Come on, Bobby. Silence. Spins up. She was right behind me. She was right behind me.
What do you mean?
We went out together. We found firewood. We brought it back. She was right behind me. Still
Okay,
has to be.
She's probably like right there. I'll like head out a little bit and I'll like turn on the flashlight on my phone and just, Bobs, you good?
Not getting an answer.
Okay, well, Annie, did you like hear anything? Like, what did she?
She was right behind me. We were talking as we were coming back to the cabin. I don't
When did
understand.
she stop talking?
We were chatting as we were walking through the woods. Um, got to the edge, the clearing around the cabin. I swear I heard her behind me as I was walking up to the cabin, and I don't understand.
Okay, well, yeah, she might have just like fallen or something. We should go check.
So you're all going to check, or just Nadia, or
Um, I think that Rosalind would go with Nadia, just a buddy system, basically,
Yeah,
to make sure.
I was gonna. Since Annie arrived with Bobby, I was think Annie should come too.
Or maybe me and Annie can
I'll stay protect the cabin and start the fire.
Okay.
keep working on your homework over there, and she'll Annabelle heads back out with you.
Yeah, I mean, we're
Um,
just going like right down the hill, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you're stepping out of the cabin. There is a clearing, maybe 20 feet radius around the cabin, and then the woods begin. Um, I know we've got a cell phone light. Any other lights coming on this?
I think that Rosalind loves going. She's a biology and ecology major. So she is used to going out in the woods at night, and she actually has a little flashlight mount, so her hands can be free to wheel herself. But she'll probably stick that on one of her handlebars and uh, take her backpack. Can never be too prepared.
And he tries not to look too jealously at the hands-free, thinking about how she managed to balance 2 armfuls worth of firewood and light all at the same time. It would have been helpful, but doesn't say anything. So you head out into the clearing. You can easily enough backtrack Annie's footprints coming out of the woods. You find the spot where there are two sets. Second set comes just a few steps out of the woods, out of the trees, into the clearing, and then there's scuffed dirt as if somebody stood there for a moment, and then the footprints start to lead away along the edge of the trees, heading into heading not directly out into the trees, but not heading toward the cabin.
I think looking at that, I think Rosalind is just gonna like shake her head and she just, okay, Bobby likes to play pranks sometimes. This is probably some elaborate thing to get us all worried. And then she's gonna like pop out and we're gonna scream our lungs out. It'll be fine.
I just don't get how you didn't hear anything, Annie.
We've been working and chatting, working and chatting. I didn't. She stops and listens. And I should be clear. When you were hiking up to the cabin in daylight, well, there were plenty of birds out there in the woods singing. that night there were owls. Over the next few days, it got a little bit jumbled because the daytime animals and the nighttime animals were both confused. Uh, Birds still got to eat, owls still got to sleep. As you stand there now, looking around, listening, don't hear any animals at all. Nothing really, except the whisper of the breeze and the leaves.
Okay, well, when she decides to get her shit together, like, I'm going back inside.
Okay. Um, are you sure? Is there anything else you can think of, Annie? Like anything, sound, like strange footstep? I don't know. It's just odd.
You're telling me, Bobby, if this is a joke, it's a bad one. She's got a flashlight. She's following those footsteps, follows them 5, maybe 10 feet into the woods, and is looking back. Can you guys take a look at this? I'm I spend my time in libraries. I don't know footprints. But
I can try taking a look. I mean, I did take like that one class, like the really hot professor guy. It was really fun. Like,
oh, he was.
uh-huh. Um, but I think that like looking down, she'll like kind of like try to shine a light on the footsteps if it looks like there's any kind of like drag or like if the footsteps look any different. Like if there's like regular walking and then if it's some sort of like slow walking, if there's any heavy footfalls, anything that looks out of place or drop if she dropped something, she's just scanning very quickly.
So at first, the footprints look perfectly normal. There's occasionally some scuffed dirt, as if somebody went a few steps and turned to look around, maybe listen to something, took a few more steps, and then the footprints just stop. And there's a scatter of sticks and small bits of log scattered on the ground.
She'll point that out and just that's a little weird. Okay. Am I the only one seeing this? Like, I mean, like I did like have a brownie earlier, but like I think that's worn off by now. So
I didn't have any of those, and yeah, that's that's the firewood. Damn it, Bobby, this is not funny. We're starting to realize if it's not a joke, there's something out here maybe, but you're not finding tracks of a predator or an animal or anything of the kind.
okay, if we need to go out and look for her, we should be have more supplies with us just in case things go wrong. And let everybody know they're probably worrying like crazy with us being gone this long. Um, let's head back and fill everybody in and then figure out what the hell we're gonna do. Because I swear to God, if she's just filming this shit for like a short film project, I'm gonna scream.
I'm already like halfway back to the cabin.
Yeah, and he takes another moment and doesn't want to abandon Bobby, but doesn't know what to do, and is going to follow you back inside. So what do we do?
Uh,
I mean, like, we just need to go back, go tell everybody what's going on, and figure out a plan. We don't have the supplies to camp out here. I have my backpack of just emergency shit, but I don't have my tent. I don't have my thermal blanket. I don't have anything like that. We're not prepared to go search at the moment. And it's worse. We don't even know if they can get hell, our phones haven't worked to even call 911. Look, Bobby will be fine.
You're right. You're right. You're right. I don't like it, but you're right. She's coming along, and she is making a point of walking beside rather than in front of or behind, so she can keep an eye on at least one other person as you're going.
I'll when I come back, I'll turn to Audrey and Milda. Okay, so we don't know where Bobby went. She's probably just pulling some shit, but I don't know. I'm too tired to think about any of this. Rosalind's got it. I don't know.
She'll either come back or keep pulling shit until the morning. Night. Whatever the opposite of now is.
Yeah.
So you're gonna
So
give.
she's out in the woods all alone in the dark.
I mean, yeah, but we can't find her right now. She'll come back. I mean, Annie said she was right behind her, so she couldn't have gone far.
I mean, look, we can. I've been trying to track our food right now, and right now we have a little bit left of our charcuterie board. We're out of wine completely. Uh, we've got food for maybe a couple more days at most. We're gonna have to venture out soon. Could just try going earlier, I guess, but I mean, we can't stay here forever. And if we're kind of out in the middle of nowhere, at least there's a town nearby we could try to go to. Maybe Bobby saw something we didn't.
Did we come here with a car?
You did, but you parked at the bottom and hiked the path up,
Mm.
which is not ideal for vacation, but if it's enough of a park to have a ranger up at the top, they're fairly nailed down rules. So
Yeah. I mean, I'll go with you guys. I just think maybe we should give Bobby I don't know, 10 minutes.
I mean, it'll take that long at least to get what we need to gather anyway. So
okay,
I'm
so
sure you're fine.
if you're heading out, are you heading out going up to go look for the ranger station, going down, find the town?
and just to clarify, where Bobby went off off the trail, was that going towards town, or was that towards ranger station as far as where they collected wood?
Neither really. One's up, one's down. It's kind of to the side where there's some thicker trees and therefore uh, more firewood to be found.
I think Rosalind would bring up, look, if we go down the trail, then we at least have a car.
And knowing Bobby, she probably went back to the car for something she forgot after she got tired of pulling her crap.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's cranking the radio, and you hear just static up and down again. If we're going, we need to go. We gotta find some help.
Yeah. No, it's probably fine. We'll go to the car and we'll figure it out.
Worst case scenario, she probably got picked up by some hot forest ranger, whatever.
That's worst case scenario?
I'm gonna pretend it is.
Okay.
Okay, so rules as written, your equipment in 10 candles is whatever you have in your pockets. But you made a point of coming out here on your expedition. You packed up for the hike in. So you have stuff here. Is there anything in particular that you want to make a point of gathering before you go? Are you taking everything? Or are you staying light?
Portable phone charger is probably the most like practical thing that I bring, but otherwise just like Nadia's in like a big hoodie and is just like very like just bundled.
Got my books, all my study books.
You know, you can leave that at the cabin. We're just going to the car. You're not going to need that.
It cost much money. I'm not leaving them here for.
Okay, no one's going to steal it. We're in like the middle of nowhere.
We're coming back. We're just getting Bobby. Maybe
Right.
driving into town.
Bring in the mathematics book.
Okay. So you start back down the trail. It was easier to see in daylight, obviously. You're sweeping back and forth with the flashlights you've got, looking for those little reflectors set into the trees that mark the way to go. I'm curious how this first bit of the journey goes. So, who's leading us? Who's taking point? I think Annabelle's probably sticking pretty close to Audrey.
I think
Audrey's not letting any out of her sight.
Rosalind probably knows these trails very well, so she's happy to kind of take the lead. She, even if like some of the reflectors weren't working, she's been used to this forest all the time. This is her dad's cabin. It's a comfort place for her, so she's just to kind of keep things happy and normal. We'll just be talking and rolling along the trail.
Okay.
I'm staying in the back. Nadia has come to the conclusion that bad things happen when she tries to lead the charge on anything.
And he can relate. So Rosalind, you're going to go ahead and make the first roll of the game, and we'll see how this first bit of travel goes. So for our viewers, they're starting out with a pool of 10 dice. All you need is at least 1 6, and that's a success. So
Okay. 3
Wait.
6s,
3 6s. Huzzah!
but
Oh,
2 1s.
2 1s. So 1s get set aside. You'll get them back at the end of the scene, unless you happen to have a card on the top of your stack that you'd like to burn. So what is on the top of your stack?
I have my virtue at the top of my stack, which is, for me, it's creativity. I don't think I'm quite ready to spend it yet,
Okay.
but it's not the worst loss yet. I think she'll just kind of be making her way, probably not noticing things that she probably should be.
Okay. Fair enough. Um, I think you noticed pretty well with 3 6s, but uh, but yeah. So you're making your way along. It's weird how different a trail feels in the dark than it did in the light. Um, you keep telling yourself that. That's all it is, right? You come to a spot with a. It's not a giant bridge, just a little wooden bridge over a stream. None of you remember a bridge over a stream on the way up, but you were in a hurry. You weren't paying that much attention. Your mind was on the cabin, or at least I am willing to offer you that that's your mindset. I don't want to speak for you.
I think if I notice it, I don't say anything about it.
Okay. There hasn't really been any notable weather since you got here, um, but you do come to a spot where the path is washed out a little bit, as if a heavy rain had blown through. Um, shouldn't be too hard to get across, but you got to be careful. Uh, might need to help each other a little bit. Sorry, I swear I had a thought. I had somewhere where that was going. Okay.
Whoa.
There is a sudden buzzing noise out in the woods. No. That's
Phone
okay.
service. Phone service.
Okay. So you're making your way along. The woods are getting a little bit thicker around you. That faint glow is harder and harder to see. And every time you look around with your flashlights, especially that harsh light from the phone, there's just something unnerving about sweeping a flashlight across trees and trees and trees and trees. Always has been. It's still so quiet out here. You hear your own footfalls, conversation now and then, crunch of leaves. Need somebody to make a roll. Um, who will be the observant one? Not that there's only one person who's observant, but who's really got their radar turned on.
Not it.
I think since Milda is not familiar with this sort of thing, she'd be looking around more. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and make us a roll. You had 10 dice. I believe you put 2 to the side. So you've got 8.
Oh, that affects everyone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It is a shared pool.
I have 1 1 and 1 6.
Okay. So the 1 gets put aside. So we now
I might have put them in the wrong place. I apologize.
That's okay. So we got 3 dice placed to the side, so we have 7 left. And I was a little bit rude before, because at this point in the game, not only does a single 6 get you a success, a single 6 at this point also means you get to tell me what happens. What do you notice as you're scanning the woods around you? And yes, that is an open invitation. It's one of my favorite parts about this system is that it is so collaborative with the players.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
You're welcome to phone a friend.
Yeah. Yes, please. Anyone can jump in.
Well, it's a hiking path, so maybe is there drop supplies or something that we could have found?
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. If you're playing a video game and you find, a backpack full of supplies, it's such a good feeling. You're out on a trail,
Yeah.
you find the entire backpack just sitting there. Not necessarily quite so comforting. Still pressing on, or
Well, I'll like start looking through it, like see if it's like, can I tell if it's Bobby's, or like see if there's any identification on it?
you tell me.
Do you want me to roll or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
To be clear, you're not rolling to see if you can open a backpack. You are rolling for the right to decide what is in it.
So no 6s, 2 1s.
Okay. So if you want to burn
Yeah,
whatever's on
I
the top of your stack, you can re-roll those ones.
I probably should. Okay. So I don't know how I would exactly in this case, but my virtue
So
is
what do you have on the
generous.
top?
My virtue,
Generous.
which is generous. Not sure how that applies here exactly, but if anyone has any ideas of that.
Well, we can hold on to the idea that you're using generosity,
Yeah.
and see how the roll turns out. And
Okay, cool. So that's 2 1s again.
Oh no.
Ouch. Okay, well.
So I think what happened is I haven't been showing it. I've been trying to be like really blasé and
Sorry to be a pain, but you need at least 1 6 to narrate what happens. In fact, you need at
sure.
least 1 6 to
That
not end the scene.
Oh
You'll
fuck.
come to the
That's
time
fair.
where we put out the first candle
Oh god, I'm sorry guys.
and the first scene. So we'll give you back those dice, except one of them. One of them comes over to me. So now you still have 9 dice. I only have 1. You can see looking forward how the balance of the game might change later on. But for now, you still have 9, and it's perfectly fine. But we've also come to one of my favorite parts of this system. It's a little bit of a ritual and a little bit of an invitation. So first of all comes my part. These things are true. The world is dark. We have 9 truths to establish. We'll start with Nadia, because that's where the dice were just a moment ago, and we will head around the circle. Going to drop in the Discord a list of names in order so we all know what we're doing there.
Okay. The backpack is not Bobby's.
Okay. Mary. And yes, I'm my bad. Going to Nadia. These are players. You don't have. It doesn't have to be, about you or what you do. Opportunity to change something about the story, add something to the world. The one thing that you can't do, not that we've met them yet, but the one thing you can't do is give them a weakness, a vulnerability. Their only issue is the light.
Inside the backpack, we found a recording.
Okay. Caden.
In the backpack is also a bunch of meat sticks, the dried meat sticks.
Okay. All right. All right. And then and Alice.
Outside of our footprints, there are none around the backpack.
All right. Which I left a name off of that little list. Let's see. So we know the backpack isn't Bobby's. We know there's a recording inside. There is a recording inside. It's on a tape, a reel-to-reel tape. So you know there's a recording. Somehow I don't think you have anything on your outing that would play one of those. So I'll have a mystery for later.
Back to me.
Yep.
I've been trying to play it cool and be blasé about this the whole time, but you all would see Nadia's like shaking.
Fair enough. Mary. Nice thing about 9 is you each are going to end up having two truths and only one from me.
It looks like someone was trying to mark a new path.
Cool. Which takes us to Caden.
We see a light far in the distance ahead of us.
Cool. All right. And one more truth. Dallas, that's you.
There has been absolutely like no airplanes or helicopters or anything in the sky over the last 10 days.
Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. And the final truth is always the same, and it always comes from you. And we are alive.
We are alive.
And we are alive.
Alive.
And point of order, I don't have a virtue anymore.
No.
Correct. You,
Big ol'
you still
waste.
have that. So let me be clear. You still have that characteristic. It's still part of who you are.
Right.
But each card can be used once. If we were
Love
playing
that for
at
me.
a table in a place that would allow such a thing, when I say you burn your card, you burn your
Yep.
card.
Yep.
I'm currently keeping my cat away from active flames, to be very clear.
Understood. I used to live with a not very bright cat who liked bright light and had very long fur.
Oh gosh.
She doesn't have long fur, she just has no brain cell.
Yeah,
Same
I've known
day.
some of those. And thankfully, you don't have to listen to them say the same thing about their humans. Okay. So you've got the backpack. I'm guessing you're taking it with you.
Yeah.
Um, and we know that somebody was trying to mark a new path. Do you want to stick with the path you were on, or trust the someone?
We could also go
I'll,
towards
I'll
the
give to you
light.
that both paths basically trend downward. So
I guess my question would be, so we established one of our truths is that there is a light. Is that light down the primary path we were going down, or is it down the new one?
Caden, it was your light. Where is it?
It's toward the town. Can't really tell if it's in or within the town or just before it, but it's in that direction.
Okay, fair enough. So both paths are trending downward, and it's downward as well. I will offer to you that it is flickering, flickering kind of light, yellowish, orangish, but it's way too far away, especially through all the trees, to get much detail beyond that. So what would you like to do?
Well, that's probably a person, right?
It could be. I hope it's a bear. I'm not gonna lie.
I
Do
mean, I'll
bears often use lights?
take my chances at this point, Roz. Like,
I just look, okay, people in the woods, there's like crazy people in the woods sometimes. That's probably not the best way to say it, but just
no, yeah, no, like but fucking look at where we are right now.
okay, fine. Yeah, let's go.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know anything. You're the one who knows this shit, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I know it, but that freaking river wasn't supposed to be there from what I'm used to. Okay?
Okay, I think just like all the stuff we know is just like useless now.
I did not sign up for the Slenderman video game experience. Uh Rosalind, just okay, we can go that way. Let's just go. And I think she'll just kind of try trudging along, uh going in the direction of town towards the light, muttering under her breath.
Following old path or new path?
I guess it would I think she would probably try to stick to the primary path,
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Fair enough.
but like
Uh,
I think she would also be watching out for those same markings along the primary path.
Fair enough. Why don't you give me a roll and tell me whether you see them again?
Ooh, okay. Okay, yeah, we're burning things. We are burning a virtue.
Oh boy.
Because no successes and 3 ones.
Oh,
Okay. So what is the virtue?
My
I know I asked you
vir-
earlier, but
my virtue is creativity. So, um, let's see. I think in this moment, kind of taking a note from the previous hiker, she's probably trying to keep a track and is probably leaving behind markings as we go, since things are all wonky. Whether those help us
Fair
or
enough.
not remains to be seen.
Fair enough. So you
Um,
burn that card, you re-roll those ones, and we see what happens.
Can you re-roll just the ones, or
Burning
I've
a
got
vice
regular
or a
dice.
virtue re-rolls just the ones.
I just meant in the
Um,
program.
Virtual.
That's all.
that is a good question. I am not sure how that works. So I tell you what, I'm gonna temporarily drag three dice over to the same side. Do you see the GM roll button, or do I need
No,
to
we
make that
can
roll first?
see where it says GM dice.
Yeah.
Okay. Or you can use 3 physical
I've got
dice if you like.
regular dice too,
Okay,
so
let's go with
that
that.
might be easier.
Yeah. It's not confusing now, but it will be later when we have more dice on multiple places.
Significantly better. 1 6 and only 1 1.
Okay. And I roll my 1 die I have over here. I get a 3. So the 6 means you succeeded. The getting more 6s than I did means you also get the storytelling rights. So as
So,
you're keeping an eye out for more markers, what happens?
so I think like going along the way, um, Rosalind is just keeping in her mind like almost like these memories of being in the forest with her family, and like these just almost like memories echo of like, now what happens if you get lost in the forest? And it's like, well, you follow a river, you mark your path, you like, and I think these almost like this childlike voice of herself is echoing in her head as she's marking the path and like notching out wood out of the tree, like just as we're going along. And I think that we make it close enough to see what the light is, not
How,
necessarily meeting it yet, but we can at least see what it is.
how many dice were set aside for that roll, real quick?
1.
Just one? Perfect.
Um, I believe that would be 2 because you re-rolled 3 and you got 1 6.
I
One
got
si-
1 6, and then I got a
sorry. You got 1 6, but you also re-rolled something that was no longer a 1. Right. Sorry.
yeah, no
My bad.
worries.
Yeah. So you see that light off in the distance. It is hard to judge distance through all these trees. It does look like flame. Could be a small lantern fairly close. Could be a larger fire further. Um, but it seems contained. You're not seeing it spread. So presumably it was set by somebody and not forest fire that's coming to make things even more difficult.
Look, I've seen these scary movies. Can we just maybe just stay towards the cars and don't go chasing after weird fires that may or may not have someone with them or more than one someone? And like Audrey just grips Annie's hand just a little bit tighter and
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard tales of people dancing naked in the dark in front of fires, so we would be wanting to stay away from those.
I'm not worried about that. That sounds fun. Other bullshit going on.
Probably nobody else notices, but Annie does give you a sly grin about that. Okay, so you're continuing along the path. Come around a bend. Now you could sort of argue to yourself that you just didn't remember the little wooden bridge over the stream. That's a minor detail. You are absolutely positive you would remember one of those long um, rope and wood bridges across. It's not a gigantic ravine, but you absolutely would remember this if you had been this way and have no memory of it. It does look like the trees maybe get to be a little more sparse, a little easier to see and navigate on the other side, maybe. What would you like to do?
Where are we?
Roz, what the fuck?
Okay. All right. We didn't forage for mushrooms. So why the hell is this all wonky? I'm following the path just like we normally went. This is
Like take a wrong turn or something.
no, I followed the reflections.
Okay,
Its
I think
voice.
I think we just need to stop acting like anything is gonna be normal or that there's gonna be an explanation for anything. I think everything's just weird now. I mean, like, do we want to go across this or not? I mean, is this?
It looks stable enough. I mean, I doubt if we try and go back, it's going to be any better.
Yeah, no.
Right, then you go.
Fine. I will make my way across.
Do you like need help?
Yeah, this is pretty steep.
Yeah. I'll attempt to help Rosalind down.
I Well, ultimately, I think you're each going to need to make a roll for this because I don't know about you. I remember these from scout camp when I was a kid, and yeah, it takes some.
1 6 and 2 1s.
Okay. You want to keep the ones or burn something?
I don't think I should burn anything again yet because that didn't go well last time.
Okay.
I'm gonna
So
save
we're
it for
putting
now.
2 1s aside, but you do have a 6. We will see how my roll goes. I got a 5. So, so that's one of you. Are you storming across? Or are you going, gingerly? How would you like to
I think
describe?
I'm definitely being careful.
That makes sense. Okay. Whatever you order, whatever marching order you like, but yeah, we are going to need rolls from everybody on this one because just that kind of the challenge.
Do you want me to
I'll go
first, Gary,
next.
or do you? Or...
Okay, so you're rolling 6. 6 dice.
6, 2, 4, 6. La la la, 1 6. Oh, 2 6s. No 1s.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I only have 1 die, so I can't roll 2 6s. So narrate this next bit of how is it going with the crossing? what do you do that's cool that reflects that extra 6?
I'll just barely hang on to the side ropes. Just use them to like bounce my hand along and just like scamper across like it's nothing.
Awesome. I wish I could even imagine being that brave around those kinds of bridges, but
Yeah,
that's
I'd be
plain
hanging on
Jane.
for dear life in real life. Tell me.
So, Rosalind, Audrey, who's going next?
I can go next. 3 6s and no ones.
Damn, I'm
It's
bad at
amazing.
this.
So, like I said, 2 6s get you something cool. How does this go that reflects 3 of them?
I think it's more relief than cool. Because Audrey definitely looks at this and is probably shaking as much as the bridge is. Because I have a crippling fear of heights. And maybe it's the fact that that Audrey cannot see anything, as like one hand behind her holding on to Annabelle and the other hand like gripped tight on this like rope, and just that slow penguin shuffle just across the bridge, like doing just watching everyone ahead of her instead of anyone else.
Yeah. Courage is overcoming, doing it in spite of fear rather than not having it. So that leaves Rosalind and Annabelle, who's
My 3 just
keeps
count
like putting
Annabelle.
one foot on the bridge and backing off and trying it again. And then pauses.
1 6, no ones.
Cool.
Oh my gosh.
Fuck me, I guess. Goddamn.
So I think like this rope bridge, Rosalind is trying to hide that she is nervous because wheels on a rope bridge is
Yeah.
terrifying. But I think she kind of like basically takes a deep breath and is like, okay, this is why we do arm day. And is basically gonna use the ropes on either side to pull herself across until she gets to the other side. And it's just like deep breaths, like, okay, see, that was nothing. Everything's fine, guys. We just have to keep going and it'll be fine.
Yeah, everything's fine. Next time we do this, we're doing this in the middle of a flat city like Nashville or Philadelphia or anywhere there is not going to be heights.
Yeah, heard.
That feels like
And,
a button to me. I'm going to be a very, very nice GM, nicer than I probably should be in 10 Candles, and assume that Annie, as freaked out as she is, she's seen all of you do it. She gets across okay. And we're going to go ahead and take a brief break, get some water, and we'll be back in just a little while. And welcome back to Nerds with Dice, where we're about halfway through a game of 10 Candles, where, much to my shock and astonishment, all 4 of our heroes have successfully managed to get across a rope bridge that certainly would have freaked me out. So you're not out of the woods, but you're close enough that you can see where the trees definitely thin out. And beyond that is the town and whatever that light you were seeing earlier, uh, as often happens with the woods, trunks lining up in different ways. So don't have a beat on it right now, but you know it's that way. So, having just inspired me to use the word heroes in the game of 10 Candles, which is I should get my license revoked. What would you like to do?
Dooms us
Oh,
even
yeah.
harder.
Is the light still like in view?
You know it's ahead at the moment. It's sort of kind of like, well, it's kind of like my background here, where there's a faint glow back there, but
Okay.
you can't really see it yet.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. All right. Now what?
Now I think we continue going downhill. We just pretend that this bridge popped up out of nowhere, and this path is going to get us.
We don't
Where
have to
we need to
pretend
be?
that it did pop up out of nowhere.
No. Things don't just pop up out of nowhere, Nadia.
And the sun doesn't disappear from the sky. Here we fucking are.
I think one of those is slightly more likely.
Which one?
Hey guys, you heard that? And he's looking around, kind of seems to have that hair on the back of her neck feeling going on.
What's up?
You're not hearing anything more than, the leaves rustling in the breeze. She's stepping a few feet away, kind of looking up, cocking her head, listening intently, taking
Babe,
a few more steps. Bobby? Bobby, is that you?
babe, no one's hearing anything.
Sorry, your audio cut out for a second there.
Babe, no one's hearing anything.
Bobby, I don't care what you were thinking. It wasn't funny. It's still not funny. And as she's talking, she's getting a little bit further away. You've just come around a little bit of a bend in the path. She takes a few more steps just around that bend. Bobby, I swear to. And you hear the breeze in the leaves.
Annie? Annie, this isn't funny. Babe?
Audrey.
I'll walk forward and see if I see anything around the bend.
I'm assuming that along the way you've shared what you all saw earlier, so you know,
Yeah.
follow the footprints. And here in the middle of the path, you have to pick apart your footprints from hers, but they're pretty blatant. There are enough leaves on the ground that you kind of kick them along as you scuff your feet a bit. And smack in the middle of the path, her footprints just stop. It's a good 5 feet from the nearest tree.
She's gone.
No, she's not gone. She was right there. She's
She-
not gone. Annie, no.
Gone.
She's not gone. People
Wind
just don't
kicks up
disappear. She was right there.
Wind kicks up for just a moment and blows those leaves around, and you can't help but feel that her footprints are disappearing as the leaves settle back into place.
If I look behind me from like where we came from, can I still see hers?
I'm sorry, clarify the question.
Like, you said the footprints are disappearing in front of us?
No. So you had originally come around a bend. She went back around that bend. You've been following her footprints back,
Yeah.
and they just stop. I'm just coloring a little bit that the leaves, which were basically how you were seeing those footprints, are getting scattered a little bit by.
Okay. I thought they were
Evident
actively disappearing. My
hers.
bad. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't say well.
No, you're fine. Okay. Shit. Man, like
You're welcome to make a roll to see if there are any clues you haven't
Yeah, no.
spotted yet.
Just flashlight everywhere. Fuck. She can't have just disappeared. That's 3 more 6s.
Okay, which is more than I can possibly make. So you tell me. Do you notice any other clues?
I think the problem is when we turn back around, the bridge isn't even there.
Oh, I like
love
that.
okay.
Okay,
We aren't even in truths, and that is the best truth I think I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Nadia, I know you brought gummies. I don't know if it was mushrooms or LSD,
I
or
ran
if you,
out yesterday.
did you like bring anything and put it in the food? Did you like spike
No,
the
why
water
the
or
fuck
something?
would I? No, I'm not a fucking frat bro, dude. Like, what? Why would I do that shit?
I don't know. But this stuff doesn't happen. My girlfriend just doesn't disappear walking out of sight. A fucking bridge we just crossed doesn't disappear.
I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Sorry
Wind is
doesn't
kicking up a
exactly
little bit
help
more.
right now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Annie,
I'm gonna.
Annabelle.
I'm gonna climb a nearby tree and just see if I can get a better vantage point.
You've still got six dice.
Yeah. Okay, no ones, but no sixes.
Ooh.
oh,
All right. So
God damn it.
come to the end of a scene. We put out another candle. If we were sitting at a physical table, the room gets just a little bit darker around us.
Mhm.
We've got 8. Yep. We've got 8 candles, 8 truths. And you have, once again, 8 dice. So we start with our tree climber.
Jesus.
But we start, of course, as always. These things are true. The world is dark.
We are
God. From the vantage of the tree, I can see that the cabin is gone.
Same order as before. So Julia, Mary, Caden, Alice, and me.
Brain completely turned off for a moment. Our surroundings are oddly familiar, but we can't place why.
Ooh. All right. All right. So Caden.
it is starting to rain slightly. It's just a drizzle.
Okay. Alice.
the reflective discs on the path have disappeared.
Okay. Sorry, give me just a sec here. The trouble with the behind the ear headphones, you sit down, you sit on the cord, and try and yank out of your head. All right. So you're standing there in what is now very light rain, wind blowing by, kind of the hiss of the rain on against the leaves. Kind of the way that you might look at a rock or a tree or whatever and swear you can sort of kind of see a face. You have that same kind of feeling about the sound of the rain.
Um, as I'm climbing back down from the tree, I land on my ankle a little weird.
Hmm.
The air around us is almost thicker, as though a fog is beginning to roll in.
All right. And Caden, one more.
The light is getting dimmer.
Okay, so that faint.
It-
Were we talking about that faint glow, or are we talking about the flickering light in the distance?
The light in the distance.
Okay, just want to make sure I understood what the truth was. And the final truth is always the same.
And we are alive.
Alive.
And we get those dice back, except one of them.
So now you've got 8, and I've got 2. All right. So things are disappearing around here. The bridge isn't there. The cabin isn't there. The trail markers you've been following aren't there. The beginnings of fog certainly don't help.
And,
but I
and
think
to be clear, the cabin, I'm not sharing that information.
Okay, I can kind of understand that. All right. Okay. But I think the most immediate thing probably is taking care of an ankle.
No, it's fine. I can still like walk on it. It's whatever.
I really hope so, because considering my girlfriend's the one with the first aid kit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like it's fine. I just landed a little wrong, but it's fine.
I think that Rosalind is gonna she has like a flannel shirt like on, similar to like what I'm wearing. And I think like the bottoms of it, they're always like too long anyway when you sit in a wheelchair. So I think she's just gonna kind of rip the bottom off of it and be like, we could use this to kind of wrap it, kind of give you a little bit more.
You seriously don't have to.
We've already lost 2 people. Okay? If
Okay.
you
Yeah.
can't run and things are chasing us, while it may
Nothing-
save us, it won't save you
Yeah.
Nothing's
okay.
chasing us.
Right.
yet.
Yeah, but you already tore your shirt, so okay, thank you.
I am not going to be mean and make you make a roll for how well you treat the ankle. Maybe later.
Okay.
So what are you doing from here? Got that fading light ahead in the near distance. It's there somewhere.
We do not separate. We stay
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. And if you see Bobby or Annabelle, no, you don't.
All right.
I'm curious how Audrey takes that, since it sort of amounts to we are officially giving up on your partner.
I don't think she has words to say to Nadia right now that is going to help the situation. She is just staring her down.
Do I notice that?
Do you?
It sounds like it would be hard not to.
Well, you know how we determine things that are not absolutely clear yes or no in this game. You can.
Yeah. I think if
Everyone's-
Audrey I think if Audrey is staring me down, then you would see that if someone isn't looking at Nadia or speaking to her directly, her face is just like totally freaked out. And that like devil may care thing comes back on as soon as someone addresses her.
Onward. Yeah.
Only option right now.
Onward. Okay. So you continue along the path, probably staying a little bit closer to each other. Fog still hasn't completely come in yet. It's kind of wisps around your feet. You're picking way through the thinning trees. Yeah, I think it's fair to say that you reach that light you've been looking for. So when you came out, you're not terribly far from town, but when you came out, you drove out. You found the entrance isn't the right word, but it'll do. You drove up a little gravel road / driveway kind of thing, and there was a tiny gravel parking lot, mm, big enough for maybe 3 cars if you're really friendly. But you were the only ones coming out, so it was just yours. As you come around that last tree, sitting there in the parking lot is a rusted old car that looks like it's been sitting on blocks for 20 years. Um, just finishing burning. As you get a little bit closer, underneath the rust and the scorch, you recognize the color of that car. What would you like to do?
Okay, so that's like active vandalism. That's different, right?
Yeah. Wait. Who would do this?
Can I look in the windows? Did anyone like leave anything in the car? Are there any bags or anything that's like survived?
Sure. You tell me what would any of you have left visible in the car?
Audrey almost definitely left some of her textbooks in there because she wasn't going to be a nerd and study all week.
I probably have like a jacket that I forgot.
Okay, so well, the car has burned, so the textbooks kind of went up in the fire. Um, the jacket is moth eaten. It looks like it's been sitting there for years. And again, you notice it's not just the scorches on the car; it's all those years of rust.
Okay. So I think we're fucked.
Oh, now we're fucked. When your car's damaged, not when my girlfriend
I didn't
seriously
say
vanishes.
we weren't fucked before. Like this was our way out potentially. I said the wrong thing again. Okay.
Guys, this does not help us get through this. This is one mode of transportation. There are others. We just have to keep looking.
But why does it look so old? This is not right.
It's not, but that's not going to change the situation. So we just note it, learn, and move on.
Learn
By the way,
what?
the rain is coming down a little. It's not pouring, but it was just barely sprinkling before, and it's thinking about actually raining.
Look, there should be a shelter near here we can find. Town is pretty close too.
Just what if we get to town and there's no one there?
Great, then we get a town for ourselves. I mean, what do you expect to do? We'll figure it out when we get there.
Okay.
Look, I'm not so sure we need to go into town. Who knows what happens when we leave? Is the mountain going to disappear next?
Well, I don't see a Walmart in the middle of a forest. I don't know. I'm not great at hunting and gathering, so town would have food and supplies.
We go. Yes.
Yeah.
We go.
Okay.
Enough talk.
I am kind of enjoying how Milda is becoming somewhat of a leader for the group. So it's not terribly far. You walk down that gravel drive. You remember navigating on the way in, and it's really kind of at the edge of the town. So you have some spread out houses nearby. After that, you'll start getting the quaint little downtown and the mom and pop kind of shops. And you also know where past that you'll start finding the one or two big box kind of retailers.
Mm.
So where would you like to go?
I think just like same direction.
Okay. So you're heading like center of town.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
Do we hear anything at all? We're in a town.
Well, you're not in the middle of the town
Well,
yet.
When
It
you get
is
in there.
it is quiet, and you are realizing that the car that you're walking away from was the one light you were seeing earlier. But surely there's got to be something. As for what you hear, um, as the rain is coming down, it's, as rain tends to do, drowning out most of the other noises in the area. Does kind of accentuate some of the foresty smells, but mostly you hear that hiss of it coming down and hitting the leaves overhead. You do notice that you continue to hear that sound after you've left the trees. You're walking down the middle of, this paved road through this tiny little suburban development, and you're still hearing the rain on the leaves that you're not underneath anymore. Still heading for the center of town? Okay.
I don't look behind me anymore.
Fair enough. Are you looking to the sides or just laser focused where you go?
As laser focused as I can be.
Okay. The rest of you in that same tunnel vision kind of mode, or
Rosalind is scanning, trying to see like if there's anything in the town that looks different, if there's like taking in the surroundings, because I think she is trying to keep a brave face right now to keep going and like everything's going to be fine, but she wants to make sure that things can be fine. Um, and I think she would be watching surroundings just in case.
okay. All right. So right now you're walking past houses that are spread out, walking through somebody's yard. You take a look to either side as you are with your flashlight. It's a brief whisper of maybe movement. Could be just a curtain and a window that's slightly open. Oh, there's a bit of wind that comes with a rain like this.
Are the lights on in any window anywhere?
Not that you can see. You do notice that some of the cars in the driveways aren't quite parked right. So like slightly askew.
Are any of them
You pass
rusted?
one with the doors wide open. There's no dome light inside. There's no beep beep beep.
Hey y'all, how do we feel about Grand Theft Auto?
New experience. Let's do it.
If it works,
Okay,
it works.
You are definitely going to need a roll to see if this car will start for you.
Should I really be doing this?
Whoever's going to be driving, not.
Who drove here to begin with? We should probably establish that.
Got it.
I mean, Rosalind planned it. She probably had to plan transportation. I can try hot wiring a car.
Casual skills you pick up.
I watched it on a YouTube video.
Yeah.
All right. Okay,
Nadia does the classic like playing lookout while your friend shoplifts.
2 6s but 1 1.
Okay.
So you're keeping that one, putting it to the side?
Yep.
Okay. All right. I have 2 dice, but I did not roll any 6s on my end. So you have the storytelling rights. How does checking out this car go?
So I think that luckily one of the windows was rolled down, so we could at least unlock the door to get in. And it's probably an older style car, for better or worse. that it's not just like the electronic locks, like it has like a pull-up lock. And which also means that the wires are a little bit easier to access. So I think that we have started the process of trying to hotwire the car. So we at least can get in the car and lock the doors if we absolutely have to, but we can't get up and go yet.
Okay. All right. So who's hot wiring then? See, I was being nice. I was giving you a role to start the car, but you know,
I can
I'm not gonna say no to a player who tells me the role just gets you in the door.
I can attempt to assist if like more than one of us wants to roll it, maybe. Okay.
I feel like one of us has a YouTube video saved and the other person is
Yeah.
like, all right,
No,
you need to
I
combine
like
this
watched my
wire."
cousin do this once, I think. Yeah. Okay. 1 6 and 2 1s.
Okay. You keeping the ones, or are you burning something to re-roll them?
Oh, well 1 6 is enough, right?
1 6 is enough. If you're keeping the ones, they're getting put aside. So right now you have 7 dice. Put them aside. You'll have 5 for whoever makes
Yeah.
the next roll.
Oh.
Mhm.
Oh. I'm not gonna burn it.
So we're putting aside 2 ones. I continue to be unable to roll a 6. So paint me a picture.
So yeah, so we're both trying to. Yeah, I think you do this, and then so yeah, if you hold that, and then yeah, and then we. I think Rosalind is the one who finally gets it to go.
Yeah, Russ just, yes, MacGyver has nothing on us. Okay, guys, we can go. Let's go. Where are we gonna go? We can go anywhere. Okay.
The home out of here.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that too. Um. Uh. You guys ready?
Okay.
Yes.
So you have gotten into the car. You have hot wired the car. It does start. It sputters for a bit, but it's not stalling as yet, and thankfully not quite old enough to be manual transmission. I think I will offer though that mm, the headlights work kinda. It's a sickly kind of glow. So it's not, driving in pitch black, but yeah, either somebody who took very bad care of this car or who knows. So where are you going?
I think just like let's just try to start the drive back to campus.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're getting out of here basically takes you through the center of town. You notice there are some cars that are properly parked. There are some that are very much not. You see a low speed collision in an intersection. So not like somebody was flying along, like, 2 cars were left in drive without a foot on the brake. You notice some colorful graffiti scrawled on the side of some of the local buildings as you're going along. One showroom window smashed to bits.
Hey, not to get weird, but I think, do y'all think the rapture might have happened?
What is rapture?
So like I don't believe in this shit, to be clear, but like in the Bible or something, there's like this thing where like God just like calls everyone up.
Then why not us?
Because we're like sinners or whatever.
I mean, more than likely, it's probably some messed up thing that we just did too much carbon emissions and just ruined the world. So, just a little sooner than we expected.
Jesus.
I'm liable to believe this is just a really, really bad trip. Considering we said we were just going into town, and now we are driving out of town and leaving 2 of our friends behind.
What do you want us to do, Audrey?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
I don't know. We can't keep acting like just because they're disappeared, that they're gone.
Their footsteps were disappeared into nothing.
A
Zilch.
bridge disappeared into nothing.
Exactly.
How do we know we are not just like some chemical factory exploded, blocked out the sun, and we're all breathing in pollution?
Well, I mean, we do breathe in a lot of pollution anyway, but I mean, besides that, yeah, it could all be a dream and we'll wake up and yada, yada, yada. But
Look, whatever happened, I don't want it to happen to the rest of us. So I think let's just get away from where things are happening. And then once we find another person, we can maybe figure it out from there. We just don't have the information right now.
Okay, so still heading out of town.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think driving really slow, like trying to just like see what's going on.
And I think I'm like paying attention to my phone, like waiting for a signal.
Yeah, no signal as yet. I have an idea of what happens as you're driving along through the now thickening fog.
Oh.
But whoever would like to is more than welcome to make a roll and see if you can get the right to tell me what you see.
Who wants it?
Going once.
I can if no one wants it.
I'm in the backseat disassociating, I think.
I don't do
Going
it,
twice.
and I apologize in advance. Hey, 3 6s, 2 1s.
Okay. Burning anything or putting those ones aside?
I'll put the ones aside.
All right. Okay. So you're driving through this town that kind of looks like something out of a zombie movie. Weirdly, as you're having your conversation, I'm going to suggest you're passing the local church. Somebody has spray painted on the wall, "Sinner repent." But as you're driving out of town through the thickening fog, what do you see?
Oh. I think there is another person. I think there's a guy about our age walking along with a lantern or a flashlight of some kind.
Oh no. I like what you said the first time.
Okay.
Oh, he's got a lantern.
Oh, okay.
Not the UK slang for a flashlight. He's got himself a lantern.
That you have apparently. Okay. I think I see that. Holy shit! Pull over! Roll the window down. There's a guy.
You really
I
want to trust
still
a guy
think-
right now?
Yeah, I'd rather have a bear.
Are you fucking kidding me? There's a guy.
What happened if
Fine.
we see someone we didn't?
Well, okay. Did the rest of you see that? If I'll take the L if I'm crazy. If y'all don't see someone, we can keep going.
I see someone. Fine. Rosalind pulls over.
If he's weird, you can floor it.
Great. Another thing to add to my growing crime list. Okay. Pull over the car.
I'll stick my head out the window. Hey,
That's all you get.
great.
I will say he's in very plain clothes, carrying his lantern. We haven't established what geographic area we're in. In some places, you might be thinking Amish, Mennonite, something like that. Then again, you saw what happened to your car. So, is he wearing old-fashioned clothes, or is he wearing old-fashioned clothes?
Yeah.
Either way, he kind of grunts at you.
Hey, do you know what's going on? Do you know how we can call someone?
I know Ma's waiting for me back home.
Okay. Do you have a phone that works?
He kind of stares at you.
Do I get the impression that he doesn't know what I'm talking about, or what?
I think that would be a safe bet.
Okay.
He seems a little puzzled.
Sorry. Do you speak English, sir?
Of course, I speak English.
Okay.
Lived here all my life.
Okay. Do you have a phone we can use?
He kind of backs away from you. He's he's on his way home. He's meeting strange people who are.
Look, man, I'm not trying to be weird. We lost two of our friends. We don't know what's going on. We're just trying to get home.
Just keep your head down. Keep moving forward. Stay out of the dark. Stick to the light.
Rosalind will kind of lean forward and just say, hi, question. What the hell is going on here?
He
Like,
doesn't know.
why? Like, we were up in the mountain having a great weekend and shit happened, and now it's really dark. Did something happen down here? Was there like some sort of like chemical explosion? Like, what is happening?
You notice a kind of recoil when you use the word hell.
Oh my God,
The
I
rest of your question, he repeats what he's been saying. Oh, keep your head down, keep out of the dark, stick to the light. Mom's waiting.
Rosalind, I
And
think it's about time to floor it.
Sir, what year is it?
He gives you a look like this guy. Like what you read from his face is, I knew you were weird, but you don't even know what year it is. And he turns and starts walking away across the field.
Typical.
Don't talk to strangers.
All right.
Always
Just-
hold me.
Just like as soon as his back is turned to us, just like out the window. Okay, that didn't work.
I mean, we know now that there's I don't know what we know. Let's just keep going.
Yeah.
The fog kind of thickens for a moment, and then, the way the fog does, opens back up again, and you can see clear across the field.
I'm sorry, the field?
He turned and walked away across the field. Ain't nobody walking across the field.
But I thought we were on a road.
At the side, yeah, you're drawing along the
Okay,
road.
okay, sorry. I
The
thought
field
it
is
was
at the
Like
side.
just in
the
front of
field
us.
that is beside the road.
Okay.
Yeah. Point being, he had been walking along the road. He turned and pointedly walked away from the road. And now he's not there.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Oh.
Just creepy stuff, okay. I will just continue down the road.
Okay. Ultimately, I get the feeling you're heading back to school. Is there like an immediate destination? Ooh, more basic question. You've got your phone. You don't have data. You don't have access. Presumably, that means you don't have GPS. Do you actually know the way to get back from here back to school?
Ha! You better.
I think
I
there's one
feel
one
like-
easy way to find out whether anybody knows the way back to school.
Yeah.
And that doesn't have to be the driver. That can be,
It. Who wants it?
Who wants it? Who is the directions person?
I mean,
I can do
Milda
it
is
if you
very,
guys
very,
want.
very studious. I'm imagining she has a pretty good memory.
Definitely not Nadia on this one.
All right.
4 dice
You got
now.
3 dice.
Oh, I thought we had 4.
Three.
Shit.
I believe it's 3.
I have 1, no 6s.
Okay. What do you have on the top of your stack?
I have my vice, impatient.
Okay. Well, you can burn impatient and re-roll that 1 and see if you can scrounge up a 6.
I'm tired of all your chatter. We will drive, we will go, we will find a place. And I have no 6s, but no 1s.
Okay. Well, so another candle goes out. You're gonna get back your 1s.
And maybe we
All but 1 of them.
could skip some now. Like you were saying earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell you what, at least for now, let's, because we have a time limit. So let's say, at least for now, when a candle goes out, we put out 2, and so we move a little bit more quickly.
Mhm.
That sound fair?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. In which case, you now have 6 dice, and I've got 4. We've got 6 candles, 6 dice, 6 truths. And of course, first, as always, these things are true. The world is dark.
Oh gosh, that's me, isn't it?
Mhm.
Oh, um, oh, we're running low on gas.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
Alice. We got
The radio starts up, but it's not us music. It's not even like talk radio. It is like one half of a conversation in a language no one in the car speaks.
okay. In a very different universe, it would translate to don't blink. But at least somebody got that.
That man
Uh,
that man could have helped us and actively chose not to.
this is true. Somewhere in
Oh,
there, I have a
I skipped you,
truth to
didn't I?
establish in my head. That's okay.
I'm so sorry.
You know, just because it is a true thing, a real thing, and a weird thing, you find 2 channels on the radio. One of them is that half a conversation in a language you don't understand. The other is just numbers. 12, 73, 18, just droning on and on. So having looped back around, we have Mary, and then Caden, you're going to have one more.
As we are traveling, it's almost as though we hear whispers along the road. Like as we're driving, there are strange whisperings, just like
Hmm.
in the car.
Okay.
Oh,
And
gosh.
Caden, one more.
Oh, why me? Oh gosh. When we reach into that backpack and pull out one of the meat sticks, it has gone bad. It's like moldy or something. And
Okay.
it wasn't when we got it.
Okay. All right. And of course, we always end the same way.
And we are alive.
We're
We are
alive.
alive.
Yes, we are. Okay. So you're driving along slowly, of course, because you've got very minimal headlights. You've got numbers on the radio. You've got half a conversation on the radio. I'm curious, which one, given those 2 choices, which one do you choose, or do you just drive in silence?
Keep the numbers on. And I'm gonna take a little like mini sketchbook notebook that I carry with me everywhere, and I'm just gonna write down every number I hear.
Cool. All right. And you're continuing on your way away from the guy with the lantern. got the whispers, and I'm going to offer the whispers are not. You've got the windows slightly open because this is an older car, probably doesn't have functional climate control. So there's that humming whoosh of the air as you're driving along. It's where you hear a murmur in that. You, with minimal headlights, kind of drift a little bit as you're driving. You run over the center line and get that rum 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 rum, sound of, wake up, stay in your lane. Audrey, you could swear that rum 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 sound says, babe, babe, Bobby, and you keep going.
We need to find a gas station. Maybe I can get something or switch off driving.
Or Audrey or Milda, do anyone want to look in the back and see if there's anything in the trunk, like if they have a tank?
If we stop, certainly.
No, you can just like lean over the back.
All right. I'll look.
I think that's a roll to decide who gets to tell us what's back there. You got 6 dice.
Oh my gosh. Oh, there. Good. 1 6. No ones. Huh.
Awesome. And with 4 dice to roll, I get a 1, 2, 2, and 4. So you've got the storytelling rights. What do you find in the back?
I find a gasoline can that sounds like it might have a little bit in it, but not a lot.
Okay.
And a couple of really smelly blankets.
Okay. So you're gonna pull over and top up as much as you can, or basically, do you trust the gas in the can in the back of this car?
I mean, why not?
All right. Okay, so moving things along a little bit, you get that gas into the tank. If anything, the car seems to be running a little bit rougher. Might vaguely recall hearing somewhere that gas does essentially go stale. But you've got this dark, foggy road stretched out in front of you. Who's driving, and what's your next?
Roz is driving.
I think Rosalind's trying to find some sort of rest, like a gas station.
Just to
sorry.
clarify, you were driving. You were asking for somebody to give you a break. So I'm just asking whether you're still driving.
I misunderstood.
Having
No,
stopped to put in the gas.
Yeah, I was. If no one else wants to drive, Rosalind will keep driving, but she's getting tired behind the wheel.
I can. Yeah, it's not the highway, so
That'd be awesome.
yeah, I'll switch.
I can try looking at the maps to see if there's a gas station or something.
Yeah.
I don't know how far this car's gonna get us, and maybe there's a car that's magically gonna be waiting.
Okay. All right. So you're making your way along, making your way.
Nice.
Um, Nadia, you space out for a moment, and when you come back to it, you have to scratch out the last few numbers that you were writing down in your sketchbook.
Oh well, when I started driving, I
uh-huh.
gave that up. But
Okay. All right.
can't really.
Is
I mean,
somebody
if
else
you-
doing that, or
If you wanted, I could keep writing down the numbers.
If you wouldn't mind, I just think it could be important. I don't know. I think it could be nothing.
It's a good idea. You need to trust yourself more.
Thanks. Yeah, so I would have given Rosalind my notebook and my pencil, but yeah.
all right. As you're reading through the numbers, you could swear there's a pattern. You can't quite put your finger on it, but you could swear there's something, maybe. Um, Move it along. So yeah, gas station shouldn't be too terribly hard to find. Um, you don't recognize the brand, or rather, you've you've heard of. Your parents used to talk about this brand of gas, but that was yeah, that was a long time ago. But it's gas. It's fine. Um, so, are you? Sorry, are you just filling up? Are you checking out the convenience store? What's the plan here?
Are the lights on in the convenience store?
Um, oh, no, they're not. Yeah, the only other than your flashlights, the only real light that you've been seeing, other than the faint glow in the woods, um, only light you've really seen was the last of the fire and burning up your car.
I mean, if the door's unlocked, it might be a good idea to just get some snacks.
Yeah. I would kill for some Pringles.
Yeah.
I
is
wouldn't
there-
actually kill. It's just a statement.
No, I mean, I feel you, girl. Is the door unlocked, or is it automatic, or what's the deal with the door?
Um, yeah, I'm gonna say it's. Ooh. You're fully expecting, sliding door, or at least, big glass doors. You find, what looks like what looks like the door to a house. Um, Turn the knob, doesn't seem to be locked. Um, you're heading in.
Does anyone want to? Can someone come in with me? I feel the no split rule. We should probably all just
Yeah, we should stay together.
yeah.
Together.
Okay. So somebody want to make a roll, see if we find good stuff or bad stuff in this convenience
Sure.
store.
Do you want to?
Yeah, happy
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Oh God. Well, I got a 1, so at least it gives me an option to re-roll. But I got no 6s.
Okay. Do you want to take that option, or are you?
We've got vices to burn.
Yeah.
Might as well. I think my vice is grouchy, and I think at this point, I I think that Rosalind is tired, and now she's hungry, and this is not going how she wanted it to, and everything is falling apart, and she's not very happy about it. Um, so I guess I will try to see if I can get one. Rolling my one die. That was a 6.
Fuck yeah.
Okay. So the amazing thing is, not only did you have one die to reroll and get a 6, I've got 4. I got none. So it's all up to you. What do you find in this store?
So I think it's actually like rather cute inside. It looks like surprisingly it's okay stocked, but all of like the food items are like very vintage packaging. So like, and they actually have like a cutout advertisement for new Coca-Cola. Uh, but they
Oh,
have
it's
a
real
bunch
cooking.
they have a bunch of different snack things we can fill up on. Um, but I think that the longer time that we've spent in here, like we've kind of loaded up our pockets and we start hearing something in the back.
Okay. All right. So do you want to investigate? Do you want to bail? What's the call here?
I feel like as soon as we hear something, we should go back to the car.
What are we hearing?
Well, Mary described a shape, a form. I think for the moment it's really about what you're seeing, which is maybe somebody in the store, maybe something else. You're not sure. It's that's the information you've got to make a decision on.
I mean, all this stuff is really weird. Should we try checking it, or should we? Am I making the horror movie mistake? I'm probably making.
Look it, yeah.
Okay.
You just go home. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so heading back out to the car.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. So Nadia's still planning to drive.
Yeah.
Still have the keys. Okay. So Nadia's going first. Rosalind and Milda follow along. Audrey's bringing up the rear. And Audrey, you hear that whisper again. Babe, I need you. Babe, come here. Help me.
What direction is it coming from?
From the direction where there's a figure of some kind.
I think she would slow down and watch the backs of her friends, if we can call them that right now. Just get a little farther ahead as she just kind of
Found
slips back.
Bobby. I found Bobby. What we need you. Need your help.
Audrey's good at slipping away.
Do
Yep.
we notice that she's not there?
You will in a moment.
Okay.
But so Alice, I know you need to go. So I'm gonna bend rule here. Whatever happens, we're gonna say goodbye to Audrey. But go ahead and make a roll, and we'll see how the telling of that part of the story goes.
God.
1, 6. No zeros.
1, 6.
Ones.
So technically, I got a 6. Jim wins ties, but not in this case, because you are essentially, yeah. So you feel a hand reaching out for you, and you tell me what do we see? What happens?
I don't think Audrey has any belief that this is real. Maybe the entire situation isn't real, but she left Annabelle alone on a mountain and let herself be driven away into a fog, and who knows if that mountain exists anymore. And I think she feels that arm reaching out and closes her eyes and just lets herself pretend for a moment. And just like the
And
rest
you know
of the vanish.
and you know the feel of Annie's hand in yours. I think that's where we say goodbye to Audrey. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in the interests of time, I'm going to say that there is a essentially heroic sacrifice kind of mechanic in this game, where you can say basically, screw it, blow out a candle, describe what happens in the interests of helping us get to the end before we run out of time. I'm going to say we are putting out a candle, which will give the three of you a chance for some truths as we're heading back to the car. I will offer you one bit of real world that I was just Googling as we're playing. It is notoriously difficult to work a gas pump in a blackout. They do have generators and such, but they're limited. So You have 4 dice on your side of the table. I've got 6. That doesn't mean much because I've rolled exactly 1 6 the entire game. But that does give us 4 truths. Starting with, these things are true. The world is dark. And Alice, if you'd like, on your way out, you're welcome to leave us with a parting bit of direction. Parting truth.
I'd say keeping in the style of where we're headed. At some point, the black tar pavement ends, leading into really rough hewn, like gravel and dirt. That ride gets very bumpy once you start getting back on the road.
Okay. Yeah. The numbers on the radio seem to be cycling around. It's a long cycle, but it does eventually repeat.
When we notice that Audrey's gone and we look around and we can't find her, I'm crying too much to drive. I just start breaking down.
Yeah. I definitely don't blame me for that. So Mary, one more.
As we've been driving, and almost at the time that the road changed from that smooth pavement to gravel, it's almost strange that when you look out the windows with the fog fully rolled in, if you're looking closely, you can actually see the faces of loved ones that have passed on. People that we
Ooh.
haven't seen in a long time, people that look like us that we've never met, and they just seem to be walking beside the road.
And they're
Oh,
each
it's-
carrying a lantern.
Oh, it's fine. It's normal. It's fine. This is so normal.
And
We're alive.
You're alive.
love it when the point comes that starts to sound like it has a question mark. All right. So you're making your way along through that thickening fog, hearing the numbers, seeing faces, hearing whispers around you. Ooh. Okay. So the pavement has already turned to gravel, dirt. For one brief moment, as the fog thickens, it turns into cobblestone, which this part of the country, this part of the world, certainly doesn't go back quite as far as cobblestone. But then the dirt and the gravel come back. So what's your plan from here? Rosalind was tired of driving. Nadia's taking a break. So I guess, Milda, you're driving. You still heading back to school, or?
Yes?
Ooh. I'll offer you one other thing. So as you're going through the fog, you get the cobblestone under your wheels for a moment, and then that goes away. A road sign goes by in your native language. And
I
you've got the wheel.
stop, back up to read it again.
There's no sign there.
Cool.
All right. All right, we keep going.
Okay.
Drive until I see the road we're looking for, the crossroad, the highway. There's got to be a highway.
I'll meet you halfway. You find a sign for Motorway 5.
Great.
And you turn onto it, and it's not the kind of pavement you're used to, but it's it's paved after a fashion, and trees on either side sliding by you as and the fog is thick enough at this point that you get that effect when you have your high beams on in fog, and it just illuminates the fog for you.
So we're driving even slower.
Listening to those numbers go on, and their loops and their circles.
Can I track the pattern at this point?
That's a good question.
You want me to roll?
Oh yeah.
Hey, would you look at that? No sixes, no ones.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we put out a couple more candles. I'm going to steal a couple more dice.
Oh my god.
As that luxury of player control or earlier in the game starts to slide away.
How many do we have now?
Starts?
Well, yeah. Given time constraints, I'm gonna continue to I'm gonna say let's keep doing two at a time, which means we've got 2 candles, 2 dice, 2 truths. If these things are true, the world is dark.
As I'm trying to focus on the numbers and trying to figure out the pattern, all I come back to is that I'm a bitch and a terrible friend, and this is all somehow my fault.
Okay. And Rosalind. Sorry, Mary.
The car is empty of gas, yet it still runs.
Ooh. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. the noise of the noise of the road is still, hypnotic. So are the numbers, which you swear almost makes sense. Almost. Um, you come to a spot where there's a tree that's come down on the road. It's not, gigantic or anything, but you would need to move it out of the way to continue as you're going. So,
We moved the tree. Yes.
okay.
How big is it? Like, is it?
Yeah, it's not giant. It's just a nuisance,
All right.
which also means that you stop the car. And when you stop the car and the crunch of the gravel under the wheels stops, you can faintly hear like the sound of gears and clockwork, where there should be a vroom. There's a tick 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 tick. But get the tree out of the way. Continue as you're going. Lost in your thoughts. Some of you in guilt in this car that apparently doesn't run on gas anymore. I am going to be super, super, super nice because I'm curious. You make
Horrible.
it back to school. You make it back to school. And as you know, as you park and you're walking onto campus and looking around through the fog, well, you tell me, what kind of a school is it that you go to? What kind of like architecture, what kind of style before all this happened?
I think it's like fairly big. But we're in a more rural area, so like, compared to like a popular university, like not like that big, you know?
Okay.
Like maybe because there's usually a lot of additions added to colleges, and it's basically like the original buildings. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
I hate how you said that.
Caden, how roughly, how old are those original buildings? How far back does this place go?
Oh gosh.
Not asking for an exact year, just,
Yeah.
is this a since the year of the flood, or is this a brand new school that just came up 10 years ago?
Say like 30, 40 years at the most.
Okay. They look so much older. You're seeing brick, you're seeing stone, you're seeing you walk past the campus chapel, um, and you see stained glass in the window that you can't make out what it is because there's no light inside to light it up for you, and it is so quiet.
I just start-
Often-
Hmm?
Go ahead.
I just start screaming.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
I think Rosalind will go, what? just kind of like trying to do like the get it together, like shake Nadia's shoulders
Mhm.
and just, okay, this isn't helping anything. Okay,
We're in
what's the
hell.
problem? Okay, look, it's not hot. Okay, we're not in hell. We're probably in purgatory. But
Oh, great. Okay, so glad.
look, I don't understand anything that's happening here, but we're here still, so we have to keep fighting and we have to keep going. For
Where?
everything that is, I don't know. We have to try, okay? Because
Everything's in the fucking 1800s. What the fuck are we supposed to like do?
I don't want to lose everything.
I think we already have.
No, we haven't, because we're here and we haven't lost everything. We still have something, okay? So I will hold on to that as long as I can because I can't lose you guys. We've
Yes,
lost
you
3 of us
can.
already.
Yes, you can, Roz. I'm not doing anything. You guys don't fucking need me.
Yes, we do. I
3 is always better than 2.
Oh my god.
This entire weekend was put together because we were all going everywhere. None of us were talking anymore. Half of us were feuding with each other behind our backs. What happened to the dorms and getting to hang out and eating pizza at 2 a.m. that we barely were able to pay for?
Somewhere off in the fog, you start to hear a bell, and it's not, a ding ding ding. It's a bong bong kind of thing. It goes and it pauses and it picks up again.
You guys are too fucking nice. And I'm gonna walk into the chapel.
Oh, you're not going alone.
I don't say anything.
Okay. To be clear, the bell, whatever it is way off in the fog. The chapel's, you're walking by right now, so obviously 2 different places. But sure, you walk up, open the door, step inside. I don't think I am mean enough to call for a roll to figure out what you see in here.
No, please. I can do it if you want me to.
Who am I to turn down an offer like that? So you've got 2 dice to roll.
A 1 and a 5.
And what do you have on your stack?
I have my vice of stubborn. And yeah, I'll burn it. I think if I hear Milda or Rosalind trying to follow me, I think I pick up the pace, and once I'm in there, I'm gonna block the doors with a chair. Because I'm just gonna drag them down. That's a 6.
Oh no.
Okay, first of all, kudos on the 6. Second, I just want to note, you started with 10 dice. At this point, you have 2 dice. I have 8.
Yeah.
2, 4, 3, 2, 4, 5, 5, 4.
What the shit?
So you tell me what
Oh my god.
what do you see here in the chapel?
Yeah, so I bar the door. And I turn around and there is someone standing before me.
Yes, there is. And you think for a moment, that they're wearing like clerical, like a surplice or something, the like white clerical robe.
Uh-huh.
And then you realize that it's not a robe. They're made of that white fog. And they reach out, not pouncing, just open arms, like, come and join us. And you hear in the back of your mind, you hear voices of people you know, voices of people you've loved, people who you haven't seen in years, and Audrey and Bobby and Annie, all basically saying in overlapping voices, "Welcome home. Join us."
Mhm.
Fuck it. And I go.
Okay. So I think I'm going to call that a heroic sacrifice. But you do get the honor of narrating anything you'd like to what is it like to join with the fog?
It's like falling asleep. And I'm so fucking tired.
Okay, fair enough.
Hmm.
Which means we blow out another candle. We have one candle. We have one die. We have one truth to establish. But first, these things are true. The world is dark. And Julia, you made the last roll, so you get to
Oh gosh.
roll truth.
um there's something good where the bells are ringing.
Okay. All right. May I say it is unexpected that there is something good here at the end of this game of all things, but we'll find out what that means. So, Rosalind, Milda, um, you go up to open the chapel door, and it seems to have been blocked from the inside. The bell is still sounding off in the distance. What would you like to do?
I'm so angry. Why? Why did she do that?
She thought that she was saving us.
Sacrificing herself is not saving us.
I know that. I, you know, I thought that having a weekend would bring us all closer together, and I don't know what to do because what we have, what do we do even?
Well, we could sit here and die. Oh, go on.
The bells keep sounding, pausing now and then.
We follow the bells. Yes?
Yeah.
Right then, come.
And you walk into the fog toward the bells. As you go, you slowly start to realize you recognize the pattern of the bells. It's so slow. So slow. Takes forever to ring out 70 times. But it's that sequence of numbers you were hearing earlier. As you step deeper into the fog, you get a vague hint of old buildings around you. Not like 100 years. Buildings that couldn't possibly, assuming that we're in the US, couldn't possibly be on this side of the ocean. There weren't people who were building these kinds of buildings 400, 500, 600 years ago. Feels like feels like England or Scotland or any place but home. Still, that pattern continues, drawing you deeper into the fog.
But the buildings are familiar to Milda,
Ooh.
coming from Europe.
Okay. What did they remind her of?
Just the old parts of the city that just the old, really old buildings, and it is like going home for her.
And I think I'm going to suggest that with Milda now taking the lead, guiding you into home, I think we pull back a little bit as we see the two of you stepping away into the fog, which leaves us with two things to do. One more candle. These things are true. The world is dark.
Hello, Mutter. This is Milda. I wanted to call you to let you know that I will not be at my house this weekend. I will be out camping with my roommates. No, I do not know what this camping all entails, but apparently we go out in the woods into a cabin and spend time in nature. I'm not for certain why, because this makes no sense to me. We have tests to study for and papers to write and books to read. So I will be bringing my books so I do not lose any of my study time. and I will do my best to keep ahead of things so that I can come home with a good education and lots of money when I return home. Oh, I must go. My roommates are all looking at me, wondering why I am talking to you instead of leaving with them. So I go now. Love you. Talk to you later.
You know, when I started planning this trip, I thought, let's have one last hurrah. I didn't think it'd be the last. No, we're not thinking like that. This is just going to be a funny story we tell about an awesome weekend when we're old and gray. I hope so. But either way, I guess someone does find this, and I really hope it's us and not just a random person, because this is really embarrassing. I just want you to know that the people with me right now, if I had to spend my last moments, I'd choose them over and over and over. I'm not the nicest person. I don't know how to handle rejection and change, and they love me through every moment of that. I guess what I'm trying to say is if I don't make it and you find them, help them for me and tell them that they make me a better person, make me want to change and be better.
Hey, Dad. So I don't know what's happening or if you'll get this, but I want you to know I'm okay. Everyone's freaking out and acting like it's the end of the world or whatever, and I feel like I should be too, but I don't know. I'm not really surprised. I know that sounds weird. I don't know. I guess I'm just used to stuff going wrong or something. Um, if it is bad though, and I mean it probably is, uh, I still want you to know I'm okay. I'm with people, so I think I'll be fine. Do me a favor. Uh, please don't give up on me. Like I don't know. I kind of feel like you don't think I can do anything right. Like when this happened, the first thing I thought was, "Oh, Dad's gonna think I'm dead." Like immediately, that was what I thought, and I have no idea why, because like no one's dead yet. I don't think this didn't kill anyone. But I guess I assumed you thought I'd do something stupid, or that this was my fault somehow. And yeah, I do a lot of stupid shit, but like not like this, you know. Anyway, I got it. I'm a big kid now. So, yeah. Don't give up on me. Please. I love you.
Oh, my heart. I know that you're going to get this. And I'm sure you're probably sitting there. We're ridiculous because we left the cabin. It's not that we didn't think you were coming back. It's just getting bad here. I'm hoping I'm going to get to you before you hear this, since look, I really need to see your face and make sure for myself you're okay. Okay? I know you're okay. You're just probably got roped into helping. Oh God, I'm sure everyone needs a little help right now. And I'm on my way though, okay? Okay? This is a just in case. So that even if it takes some time, you know that I would never I will never forget about you. That I am fighting every moment to get to you. And you know how stubborn I am. But you also know how much I love you. I love you, and look, I'm going to see you soon, Annie. No matter what.
And that brings us to the end of 10 Candles. Thank you so much to all four of you. Thank you, Sophia, for having us. Thank you, Keldry, for helping out behind the scenes. Without you, we're just four people sitting in rooms talking to ourselves. So let's go around the horn one more time. Who are you? Where can people find you? And as has become our tradition, we start with Julia.
Oh, I'm just turning this back on. So, hi everyone.
Yep.
I'm sad now. So I've been Julia LaBouche. If you want to see me play some more horror games, on Friday, November 1st, I will be playing Quietus on Streaming Rainbow. And on Sunday, November 3rd, I will be playing Call of Cthulhu on Enchanted Sorcery Productions. You can follow me on Instagram at QueenJulia_11. I also have a YouTube channel, which is just my name, Julia LaBouche, if you want to hear me sing or watch my original play, Lightkeeper. That is where I am online. Thank you all for having me. This was so great.
I think this means me next. Hi, everybody. I'm Mary. My pronouns are she, her. Today I have been playing Rosalind, whose pronouns are she, her. As far as where you can find me online, you can find me on the Hell site, mostly in name only, at Nerd on Wheels 15, and everywhere else at the Nerd on Wheels. Coming up for me, you can catch me every other Wednesday on Enchanting Sorcery Production for Hallia's Harriers, Hallia's Harriers, and Delver and Below. Oh, my brain, it's gone. It is a D&D actual play where a bunch of us are trying to bash the fascists that have taken over Neverwinter. We are trying to defend Phandalin from all of these terrible people to hopefully save the day, but who knows? We'll find out. And I usually update stuff on social media. Stuff is in the works, and I'm excited to see what has to come. Thanks for having me. This has been a blast. Even though I'm all sad now.
Oh, yeah. Hi, I'm Kaden, they, them. I have nothing going on right now except sending out lots of job applications as per usual. I can be found on the Twitter at Magdalene Bloom or on Blue Sky at Vashta.mama. That's it. I'm boring.
Hi, guys. My name is Alice. I use they, them pronouns. You can pretty much find me everywhere online at Alice Hart, especially now that I've pretty much locked down Twitter because
It's
God
Twitter.
knows I need to be off of there. If you really want to see more of me, I will probably not make you cry, but tomorrow night I will be over on the Noir Enigma, playing a super fun game of Brindlewood Bay, Halloween themed for Make-A-Wish Foundation International. Outside of that, my schedule's a little bit clear for November because of the holidays coming up, and God knows I need some rest. But the podcast I am a player, editor, and a producer on called Welcome to Reddington. It's a Monster of the Week actual play podcast. Has started back up with our first part of our Halloween episode for 2024 out. Second one might just be dropping any day now. After that, we will be going bi-weekly with new episodes starting off a completely new arc, which is a great place for anyone looking for some queer found family kind of horror to jump in. Outside of that,
Okay, and I'm Steve Anderson. I'm an actor storyteller. I play mostly in one shots all over the place. Coming up, you'll find me in the second half of Castleton, the gigantic TTRPG event with like 150 actual play performers. Find me in a couple of one shots over at the Miskatonic Playhouse playing Call of Cthulhu. Find me on November 21st. I'll be over on Symphony Entertainment for Bits and Pieces. We'll find out what that means. Yes. And you can find me on the socials at Tall Halfling, sometimes Tall Halfling RPG. And finally, from Nerds with Dice, please be aware that tomorrow night, October 30th at 8 p.m. Eastern, they'll be playing Monster of the Week with Casper. So that's A, that sounds really fun, and B, that sounds less traumatizing than tonight has been. That's okay. So please keep your eye out for more adventures on Nerds with Dice by giving us a follow. You can check out the YouTube for more adventures from Nerds with Dice. And if you have a story you want to tell or a game you'll want to showcase, the Creators app is always open. Can be found on on their Twitter and Blue Sky, or you can ask for the link on the Discord. That's what I did, which is how I ended up here tonight. So again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching and sticking with us. And just leave you with the words, we are alive.
Thank you.